Have you ever felt lost or even overwhelmed after experiencing a spiritual awakening, as if, instead of clear answers, you were met with unexpected challenges? This is a phase that many people go through, and if you've experienced it yourself, know that you're not alone. In today's video, we'll explore the 5 most common challenges that arise after a spiritual awakening, and, more importantly, how to overcome them. Understanding these obstacles can help reduce frustration and bring the acceptance needed to move forward with greater ease. Each of these challenges holds a powerful lesson that can drive your growth. Stay with us until the end and discover how to transform these difficulties into allies on your spiritual journey. Shall we begin? After a spiritual awakening, you might expect life to feel lighter, more aligned, and easier to navigate. But instead, unexpected challenges often appear, catching many people off guard. This can create frustration or even a sense of doubt. However, understanding that these challenges are part of the process makes all the difference. They aren't setbacks, they are lessons, guiding you toward a deeper connection with yourself and others. In this video, we'll walk through the 5 most common challenges people face after awakening. As I introduce each one, I'll also share practical insights on how to handle them with greater ease and acceptance. Here's a quick look at what's ahead. Challenge 1. Feeling isolated. You may feel disconnected from old friends or social groups, as if you no longer belong. Challenge 2. Letting go of old beliefs. Long-held beliefs might crumble, leaving you in unfamiliar territory. Challenge 3. Changes in relationships. Relationships with loved ones can become strained as you evolve spiritually. Challenge 4. Inner conflict. You might feel torn between who you were before and who you are becoming. Challenge 5. Uncertainty about the future. Without clear answers about what comes next, anxiety about the unknown can creep in. Each of these challenges comes with its own struggles, but also opportunities for transformation. The good news? You're not alone in facing them, and there are ways to move through these experiences with more peace and less frustration. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the first challenge, the feeling of isolation. This can be one of the hardest obstacles, but with the right perspective, it can also become a powerful part of your growth. Let's explore it together. One of the first challenges many people experience after a spiritual awakening is a profound sense of isolation. It can feel like the world you once knew no longer fits you. Friends, family, and social circles that used to bring comfort might now seem distant or even irrelevant. This isn't because something is wrong with you, it's simply a natural part of spiritual growth. As your awareness shifts, so do your connections with others. Suddenly, the conversations you once enjoyed may feel shallow, and the activities that used to excite you no longer hold meaning. You might start questioning if you belong anywhere at all. This sense of disconnection can be unsettling, leaving you feeling lonely, misunderstood, or even out of place. But here's the truth. Isolation is often the gateway to deeper self-awareness. When familiar connections fade, it's an opportunity to reconnect with yourself on a profound level. Instead of seeing isolation as a punishment, try to embrace it as a phase of introspection and renewal. During this time, it can be helpful to explore new communities and spaces that align with your evolving interests. Join spiritual groups, attend retreats, or participate in online communities where you can find others who are on similar paths. These connections can provide a sense of belonging and remind you that you're not alone in your journey. It's also important to remember that not all relationships will fade. Some people in your life may surprise you by growing with you. And those who don't, it's okay to release those connections with love, knowing that everyone is on their own journey. The key to navigating isolation is shifting your mindset. Instead of focusing on who or what you've lost, Focus on what you're gaining, a deeper connection with yourself. Solitude can be a gift, allowing you the space to listen to your inner voice without distraction. This phase won't last forever. It's a transition, a necessary step in shedding old layers and stepping into the person you are becoming. Embrace it with patience, and you'll emerge with a stronger sense of who you are and where you belong. Now that we've explored the challenge of isolation, let's move on to another common struggle, letting go of old beliefs. This is often one of the most difficult parts of spiritual growth, but it's also one of the most transformative. Another challenge that often arises after a spiritual awakening is the need to release old beliefs that no longer align with your new understanding of the world. These are the mindsets and values you once held as absolute truths, beliefs about yourself, others, or even the meaning of life. After awakening, these ideas can begin to feel limiting or outdated, creating a sense of disorientation. At first, it can be unsettling. When the foundation you've relied on for so long starts to crumble, you may feel as though you've lost your footing. Thoughts like, if this belief isn't true, then what is, can lead to anxiety and confusion. It's natural to resist this process, clinging to familiar ideas even when they no longer serve you. But letting go of these old beliefs is essential for spiritual growth. Just as you wouldn't try to wear clothes that no longer fit, holding on to outdated perspectives will only hinder your evolution. This process isn't about discarding everything you once believed. It's about refining and expanding your worldview to reflect your new level of awareness. This is where self-compassion becomes essential. It's okay to feel lost for a while. Spiritual growth often requires us to sit in the discomfort of not knowing, trusting that clarity will come with time. The key is to stay open, allowing yourself to question old narratives without rushing to replace them with new ones. One helpful practice during this phase is journaling. Write down your thoughts, emotions, and the questions that arise as you move through this transformation. Over time, patterns will emerge, revealing insights you might not have noticed otherwise. Meditation can also be a valuable tool, helping you find peace in the uncertainty. You may also find it helpful to connect with others who are going through similar transitions. Conversations with like-minded individuals can offer comfort and reassurance that you're not alone in this process. As difficult as it may feel, releasing old beliefs is one of the most freeing experiences you can have. It's like shedding a heavy coat you no longer need. You become lighter, more open to new ideas, and more aligned with your authentic self. Now that we've covered the challenge of letting go, let's move on to changes in relationships, a topic many people find especially difficult after their spiritual awakening. One of the most difficult challenges after a spiritual awakening is navigating the changes that occur in your relationships. As you grow spiritually, your perspectives, priorities, and interests shift, which can create distance between you and the people in your life. You might notice that conversations that once felt meaningful now seem trivial or disconnected. This transition can feel especially painful when it involves close family members, longtime friends, or romantic partners. Relationships that were built on shared beliefs and routines might struggle to adapt to your new sense of self. Some people in your life may not understand the changes you're going through, which can lead to misunderstandings or even conflict. You might feel torn between staying true to your spiritual path and maintaining these relationships, unsure of how to bridge the gap. The key to navigating this challenge is through open, honest communication. Instead of expecting others to instantly understand your transformation, take the time to explain what you're experiencing and how it's affecting you. This can create space for empathy and connection, even if your paths are evolving in different directions. It's also important to remember that not every relationship will or should last. Some connections are meant to be temporary, serving a purpose for a certain phase of your life. As you grow, it's natural for some relationships to fall away. This isn't a failure, it's part of the process of becoming more aligned with your authentic self. Letting go of relationships that no longer serve you creates space for new connections to enter your life, ones that resonate with the person you're becoming. At the same time, be patient with those who genuinely care about you but may struggle to understand your changes. They may need time to adjust to the new version of you. Some relationships will evolve and deepen as a result of this process, strengthening in ways you never expected. Navigating relationship changes can be emotionally intense, but it's also an opportunity to cultivate deeper, more meaningful connections with yourself and with others. Trust that the relationships meant to support your growth will stay with you, even as others naturally fade away. Now that we've explored how relationships can change after awakening, let's look at the inner conflicts that arise as you move between your old self and your new, evolving identity. One of the most challenging aspects of spiritual awakening is the inner conflict that arises between your old self and the new version of who you're becoming. You may find yourself caught between two worlds, the familiar identity you've lived with for years and the new awareness that is unfolding within you. This inner tension can feel unsettling, like being torn between two opposing forces, leaving you unsure of who you truly are. The old version of you might try to cling to familiar habits, beliefs, or roles that feel safe, even though they no longer align with your new perspective. At the same time, your awakened self pulls you toward transformation, urging you to grow beyond those limitations. This push and pull dynamic can create confusion, self-doubt, and frustration, making you question whether you're on the right path. It's important to understand that this conflict isn't a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's a natural part of spiritual growth. Transformation requires letting go of what no longer serves you, but it also takes time to integrate the new aspects of your identity. During this phase, patience and self-compassion are essential. One way to navigate inner conflict is through mindfulness practices. Take time each day to observe your thoughts without judgment. Notice when old patterns arise, and instead of resisting them, gently acknowledge their presence. Meditation can also help you quiet the mind, creating space to embrace both the old and new parts of yourself with acceptance. Another helpful practice is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and emotions can offer clarity and help you process the internal shifts you're experiencing. As you reflect on these entries over time, you'll begin to notice patterns of growth and transformation, making it easier to embrace your evolving identity. It's also essential to understand that you don't have to choose between your old self and your new self. Growth is not about rejecting who you were, but integrating all parts of yourself into a more complete version. Every experience, past and present, has contributed to who you are today, and embracing that wholeness is the true essence of spiritual awakening. Now that we've addressed the inner conflict that often follows awakening, let's move on to our final challenge: uncertainty about the future. This can be one of the most difficult obstacles, but it's also where the greatest growth occurs. After a spiritual awakening, one of the most unsettling challenges is dealing with uncertainty about the future. The beliefs and expectations you once relied on may no longer feel relevant, leaving you without a clear path forward. Questions like, "What comes next?" or "What's my purpose now?" can become overwhelming. It's natural to feel anxious when the road ahead is unclear, especially when the comfort of certainty slips away. This uncertainty is often accompanied by a loss of external goals or ambitions that used to give life meaning. Career plans, personal goals, and even life aspirations might suddenly feel unimportant or misaligned with your new sense of self. This can create a sense of limbo where you feel as though you're floating without direction, unsure of where to go or what to do next. But here's the truth. This period of uncertainty is not a problem to solve. It's a space for exploration. In the absence of rigid plans and expectations, you have the opportunity to reconnect with your intuition and discover what truly matters to you. It's a chance to embrace life as it unfolds without the pressure of having all the answers. One way to navigate this challenge is by practicing mindfulness and staying present. When the future feels unclear, focus on what you can do right now. Small, intentional actions, whether it's journaling, spending time in nature, or pursuing creative interests, can help you stay grounded and connected to the present moment. It's also helpful to trust the process. Spiritual growth is rarely linear, and uncertainty is a sign that you are moving into uncharted territory. Instead of fearing the unknown, try to welcome it as part of your evolution. Trust that life will reveal the next steps when the time is right, and that you are exactly where you need to be. Remember, it's okay not to have everything figured out. Uncertainty isn't a failure. It's a space of potential where new paths and possibilities can emerge. By embracing this space, you allow life to guide you toward experiences and opportunities that are truly aligned with your growth. Now that we've explored all 5 challenges, let's move into our conclusion, where we'll reflect on these obstacles and how they can become stepping stones on your spiritual path. As we've explored, each of these 5 challenges, isolation, letting go of old beliefs, changes in relationships, inner conflict, and uncertainty about the future, is a natural part of the spiritual awakening process. While these obstacles can feel overwhelming at times, they are not roadblocks. Instead, they are opportunities for transformation, growth, and deeper self-awareness. Understanding that these challenges are part of the journey allows you to approach them with more acceptance and less resistance. Rather than seeing them as signs that something is wrong, you can recognize them as invitations to step further into your authentic self. Every difficulty carries a lesson, and with each lesson comes a new layer of personal growth. Remember, spiritual awakening is not about reaching a destination where everything is perfect. It's about learning to navigate the highs and lows of life with grace. The obstacles we face are not meant to stop us. They are meant to shape us, guiding us toward greater clarity and connection with our true selves. So, as you move forward, be kind to yourself. Give yourself permission to feel confused, frustrated, or uncertain when these challenges arise. The journey is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Each step, no matter how difficult, is bringing you closer to the person you are meant to become. In the end, the most important thing is to embrace the process. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be, even when the path isn't clear. Growth happens in the space between the known and the unknown. And with every challenge you overcome, you'll find yourself becoming more aligned with your highest self. Now let's wrap things up with a simple but powerful call to action that will keep you engaged on this journey. If this video resonated with you, don't keep these insights to yourself. Join the conversation. Share your experiences in the comments below. Have you faced any of these challenges after your spiritual awakening? Which one felt the hardest to navigate? Your story could inspire and support others who are going through similar experiences. And if you found value in this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. This way, you'll never miss new videos that can guide and support your journey. We dive into topics like personal growth, spiritual challenges, and conscious living. Content designed to help you align with your highest self and embrace the process with ease. Remember, this journey is ongoing. Growth doesn't happen all at once. It unfolds step by step, moment by moment. Stay curious, stay open, and trust that each experience is shaping you in ways you might not even realize yet. Thank you for being here with us today. We're honored to walk alongside you on this path. Until next time, take care and remember, you are exactly where you need to be.